So this honestly was my first taste at like epic failure. This was my first taste of what it is to just fail miserably.
Yeah. I think that's part of the replant journey. We call it the double dip. It's like you expect the first few folks to go, yeah, I'm not in for this. And then they take off.
Yeah.
And keep going a little while. And then the folks that you thought were going to stick around go, yeah, I'm not in for this either. And you thought, well, I thought I hit the bottom, but there's the deeper bottom.
Yeah, no, it seems to get worse.
Yeah, it does.
And so it was about that time when I was hitting that real difficult season that that Nam and you and Mark Halleck and Clifton really started putting some stuff out. And I remember reading in the back of Reclaiming Glory towards the end, and I'm pretty sure it was a conversation between Mark Clifton and you of what should I expect in my first year.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And Clifton's response of depression, anxiety, every family and financial issue you could imagine.
Yes.
And then it gets difficult after that.
Yeah.
And in the weirdest way possible, that was the most encouraging sentence.
I know. So yeah, Clifton was not the only guy to say that to me. There was another pastor here in St. Louis County, Randy. And when we're kind of heading into something, we think, okay, I'm the man and I got the stuff, and I'm going to do this, right? And so I tracked Clifton down. I could never get him to return my calls, so I stalked him on Twitter, got a breakfast meeting with him, and said, what can I expect? He said, deep, dark depression and significant spiritual warfare. And I was like, okay, now let's talk about strategy, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the pastor that I met with here in St. Louis. I've been doing it for 16, 20 years. Between that, he's been pastor a long time. And he said the exact same things, I kid you not. And I still walked away from that meeting thinking, okay, yeah, probably not me, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know, just a matter of weeks later that those hit. And that's really, when I think about the guys that I hear from on a regular basis, and the guys that we connect with, that's one of the things it was true for them and it's true for me. It's like we go into a situation, particularly a replant, and think, yeah, it's going to be different for me. And it's true. There are a lot of differences, but there's some similarities. And I think that's really kind of what we're hoping to get in the podcast here, is just to be able to talk to those guys in those first several years to help them learn from maybe some of the headwinds that we experienced. So it's not as hard for them, or they think, okay, as strange as your story is and as bad as it was, it's also encouraging to me because I know I'm not alone. Yeah. And I know the things that I'm not experiencing, or I know the things I'm experiencing are not necessarily due to my lack of leadership or something that's wrong with me. It's just part of the journey. So I'm thankful for the opportunity to be part of a podcast that's going to help guys that are in the trenches, that fighting it out and slugging it out.